prawns, squids, crayfish, lobsters, crabs, stingrays, catfish, fish, more fish, and even more fish. With so much seafood around, it's no wonder that fishmongers are kept busy. Removing the scales, removing the skin of some fish, chopping the fish into smaller pieces, removing unwanted bits, weighing, packing, and while doing all this, they have to try to persuade customers to buy more. Then there is sorting to be done, separating the bigger ones from the smaller ones. It takes him under 12 seconds to do this. But where does all this seafood come from? Let's find out. Well, some of the fish we eat comes from floating fish farms, just like this one here. Just as we have farms for rearing animals, we also have farms for rearing fish. Do you know why there are so many dogs on this fish farm? Well, they're there to keep watch and to guard the place. Altogether, we have 80 floating fish farms in Singapore. There are two interesting things about these farms. One, they're found in the middle of the sea. And two, they float on the sea with the help of these blue drums. This is minced fish. The fish seem to enjoy eating it quite a bit. On a few fish farms are found food pellet machines. This man spends a lot of time preparing the food pellets for the fish. The machine helps to mix dry powdered food with minced fish and churns out pellets such as these. And it's feeding time. The fish are fed every day. See how hungry they are? There are mussel farms too. See? Mussels on a rope. Lobsters are also reared in some of these farms. Let's lift up the net a little and have a look at some young fish. They'll live on the farm for perhaps another 8 months before they are harvested. Do you know what this man is doing? He's harvesting fish. Just look at how big these garoupas have grown. They're about 12 months old and are ready to be sold. The man very skillfully picks out only the bigger ones and leaves the smaller ones behind so that they can grow bigger. These are very expensive fish, and many of them will be sold to other countries. This man is going to harvest some sea bass. But first he has to haul or pull up the net. You might have seen such fish in the market near your home. See how big the fish have grown? They are between 7 and 10 months old. Again, only the bigger ones are picked. He has to be careful when he does this so that he doesn't hurt the fish. He looks as if he's in a hurry. Do you know why? Well, that's because he needs to make sure that the fish are not left out of water for too long a time. If they are, they might die. And away they go on a fast boat. Fish harvested from the farms are placed into containers like this one here. Do you know why there are so many bubbles in the water? Well, an air pump has been placed into it to make sure the fish have enough air for the journey. Once all the fish and prawns have been loaded onto the lorry, they are sent to various restaurants, supermarkets, and markets. Quite a lot of the seafood we eat is sold in this large market in Jurong. Business at this market starts at 3 o'clock in the morning, when most of us are still asleep, and goes on till about 6 o'clock. There are more than 100 different types of seafood in this market. And they come from different countries such as Malaysia, Indonesia, and Thailand. These cartons of fish have been flown in by air. See how fresh the fish are? These crabs here have been flown in all the way from Indonesia and Sri Lanka. Lots of other seafood arrive in big fishing boats and fish carriers. The baskets are too heavy for the men to carry, so a crane is needed. All night long, the men work non-stop, emptying fish from the fishing boats, shoveling fish from the hold, packing fish into ice boxes, filling drums and baskets with fish, and piling crushed ice on the fish so that they don't turn bad. Just look at how fresh the fish are. You can actually see their eyes sparkling like red rubies in the night. Everyone is busy. There's no time for talking. The owner sits at his high desk and keeps a watchful eye over everyone to make sure that everything will be ready before the buyers come. It's a long night of sorting. Big ones into one basket, medium-sized ones into another, and small ones into yet another. It's a never-ending job, and at times even a dangerous one. But the men and women work on. Sorting is important, as the bigger the crab or prawn or fish, the higher the price. Now what do you think these men are doing? Dancing cheek to cheek? Sharing a secret? Gossiping? No, not at all. They're actually buyers whispering to the seller the price they would like to pay for a basket of fish. Each buyer gets a chance to whisper a different price each time. The one who offers the seller the highest price gets to buy the basket of his choice. Once the price has been agreed on, the baskets are weighed. 2 men are needed to lift each basket, so you can imagine how heavy it must be. These people buy in large quantities by the basket. There are restaurant owners, food sellers, fishmongers, and occasionally even someone from the supermarket. Everywhere you go, you see crushed ice. Where do you think it comes from? And who gets all the ice crushed? Here is where it all happens. Blocks of ice are crushed all night long to help make sure that the fish we buy from the market near our home is as fresh as ever. So the next time you go to the market or supermarket, look at the different types of seafood. And who knows, that particular fish that you're looking at might have come all the way from Indonesia or India or even China.
Fish from the fish farm we have seen, and to the market we have been. Under the sea we shall now explore, to enjoy its beauty like never before. Under the sea, creatures aplenty there will be. Great sharks swimming to and fro, their slender bodies the world to show. A clownfish, a sea anemone, a turtle swimming so quietly. Stars that don't belong to the sky, rays with wings that glide gently by. 100 fish with colors bold swim in and out, a sight to behold. Under the sea, these creatures and more we shall see.